8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madhavala, read by Soundithabam. A 1 million rupee low-interest loan for dairy farmers. The purchase of paddy for other purposes will be limited. The CWC expresses their gratitude to the Premier regarding the increase of the estate workers' salaries. Steps will be taken to establish tourism training schools at district level. The Venerable Bengamue Nalakathera says that it is necessary to have a correct foreign policy as a country. The number of PCR tests conducted daily will be increased to 20,000. In world news, 18 dead after India glacier bursts dam. The Prime Minister has instructed officials to increase the loan amount for the dairy farmers up to 1 million rupees. Addressing a progress review meeting held at the Finance Ministry, the Premier stressed that loans will be given to the milk farmers at a 4% interest rate. The loans will be given to upgrade infrastructure facilities in their farms. Housing loans for the government employees will be given at a rate of 7%. Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, S.R. Archigala, said that the loan interest benefit will be equal to a salary increase of 2,500 to 3,000 rupees per month. All government and non-government employees will be given an 800,000 rupee loan at an interest rate of 4% to fix solar panels in their households. Ministers and MPs at the Ceylon Workers' Congress expressed their gratitude to the Prime Minister regarding the increase of the estate workers' salaries. They met the Premier at his Vijayarama residence today. The daily wage of estate workers has been increased to 1,000 rupees. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva said that the decision was taken during the meetings of the Wages Board of Tea and Rubber with the participation of estate trade unions and representatives of employers. Estate workers for nearly 5 years demanded an increase of their daily salaries. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa pledged to increase their daily wage in his Vistas of Prosperity manifesto. The Venerable Bengamue Nalakathera says that it is necessary to have a correct foreign policy as a country. The Thera added that it is essential to maintain a non-aligned foreign policy. Speaking to the national radio, the Thera said that the government is trying to maintain a balanced and non-aligned foreign policy which should be further enhanced in the future. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honour and empower pensioners.
The Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, says that the number of PCR tests conducted daily will be increased to 20,000. The number of PCR tests conducted at the Kagala Hospital will be increased to 300 tomorrow. He said that the government has taken measures to maintain treatment centres for coronavirus patients reported from various regions in the country. 514 coronavirus-infected persons have been reported from the country so far today. They have been reported from the Dewlapitia and Paliagoda clusters. 69,862 corona patients have been reported from the country so far. The epidemiology unit said that 64,414 have recovered from the virus. 356 deaths have been reported in the country. Meanwhile, the number of COVID patients has increased in the Colombo and Gampaha districts. That's local news.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honour and empower pensioners.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that purchasing of paddy for other purposes like beer production should be limited. It is one of the main reasons for the increase of the price of rice in the market. The Premier made these comments while addressing the progress review meeting of the Finance Ministry today. The government has initiated loan schemes for middle-income earners with the Urban Development Authority. The interest rate for the loan scheme is 6.25%. Several major initiatives have been taken at the meeting today. The Premier focused attention on issuing loans for obtaining electricity for the Samudhi beneficiaries. The meeting was held at the Finance Ministry today. The government has focused its attention on more investments rather than obtaining loans and came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, Senior Consultant Physician at the National Institute of Infectious Diseases, Dr. Ananda Vijayavikrama, requested the public against falling prey to false claims circulating on social media pertaining to the vaccination drive. Speaking at a media briefing today, Dr. Vijayavikrama said vaccines are generally administered to children, while fever and body aches are common symptoms. He noted, therefore, there are expected side effects and several persons had experienced such symptoms after receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. Dr. Vijayavikrama, however, said no one had experienced serious side effects. He added, false and ridiculous claims are being circulated on social media pertaining to the vaccines. He said he had come across one such post which said a chip had been included in the vaccine to collect personal data. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Making world news headlines, 18 dead after India glacier burst dam. The US says it is to re-engage with the top UN Human Rights Forum. Southwest France hit by heavy floods and Paris on flood alert. At least 18 people are dead and 200 missing after a piece of a Himalayan glacier fell into a river and triggered a huge flood in northern India. The flood waters burst open a dam and a deluge of water poured through a valley in the state of Uttarakhand. Most of the missing are believed to be workers from 2 hydropower plants in the area. Hundreds of troops, paramilitaries and military helicopters have been sent to the region to help with the rescue efforts. Experts are investigating and it is not yet clear what caused the glacial burst. The United States announced plans today to re-engage with the much maligned UN Human Rights Council that former President Donald Trump withdrew from almost 3 years ago, as the Biden administration reverses another Trump-era move away from multilateral organizations and agreements. The U.S. Charge d'Affaires in Geneva, Mark Cazaret, told an organizational meeting of the UN's main human rights body that the United States will return as an observer. U.S. diplomats say that step comes with an eye towards seeking election as a full member. Southwestern France was hit by heavy flooding today, following days of torrential rain, and several other regions, including eastern Paris, were on flood alert ahead of a cold snap expected later this week. The worst flooding was in the town of Saintes, 115 kilometers north of Bordeaux, where the Charente River stood at a record level of 6.2 meters. The waters were at waist level in several streets and knee-deep in large parts of the town. Hundreds of people were evacuated as water seeping into cellars knocked out power supplies. Local authorities laid beams on blocks so residents could walk from flooded houses to dry land. Back to the headlines of this World News Bulletin. 18 dead after Indian glacier burst dam. The US says it is to re-engage with top UN Human Rights Forum. And Southwest France hit by heavy floods and Paris on flood alert. That concludes this bulletin of World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Looking at development news, Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that steps will be taken to establish tourism training centres at district level in line with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's vision of prosperity policy. Accordingly, 4 new hotel schools are planned to be opened this year, he said, addressing a progress review meeting of the Sri Lanka Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management recently. The Hotel School or Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management under the Ministry of Tourism is the only and leading institution in the country to produce professionals in the field of hospitality and travel industry. In addition to the main hotel school in Colombo, there are hotel schools in Kandy, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura, Bandaravela, Koggala, Ratnapura, Pasikuda and Jaffna. That's development news. And looking at sports, England will need 9 wickets on the final day to beat India after setting up their victory push on day 4 of the first test in Chennai. India closed on 39 for 1, requiring a record 420 to win, or more realistically, needing to bat out the final day for a draw. India, who faced 13 overs, lost opener Rohit Sharma to Jack Leach. Shubman Gill and Cheteshwar Pujara reached a close unbeaten on 15 and 12. England were tentative in their attempt to set India a challenging target, posting 178 all out from 46.3 overs. India needs 381 to win. That came to you in sports news. We look at business news next.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
SLT Mobitel announced that they bagged 3 prestigious international awards for its annual report 2019 themed Every Step of the Way with Every Fibre of Our Being. The Sri Lanka Telecom PLC Annual Report 2019 was adjudged the first runner-up in the Communication and Information Technology category at the 24th South Asian Federation of Accountants Best Presented Annual Reports Awards, Integrated Report Award and SARC Anniversary Award for Corporate Governance Disclosures 2019 ceremony. The company also secured the Bronze Award for the annual report cover photo design and an Honours Award for financial data in the category of telecommunication in the International ARC Awards 2020 ceremony. That's business news, economic news to follow.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Sri Lanka has welcomed 1,635 tourists in January 2021 after airports were reopened and post-coronavirus tourism resumed under a biobubble concept of limiting contact with the resident population. Data from the State Tourism Promotion Office said Sri Lanka received 228,434 tourists in January 2020 before airports were closed in March 2020. However, in comparison to the numbers received in the same period last year, it is very minute. In 2020, Sri Lanka welcomed 507,704 tourists, with the majority from China and India before airports were closed. That's economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
In the weather report, you conclude, the Met Department says a few showers occur in the Uva province and in the Ampara and Batticaloa districts. Showers or thundershowers occur at a few places in the Sabragama province and in the Goal, Matara and Kalutara districts. Fairly strong gusty winds up to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected in the northern, north central, northwestern and eastern provinces, and in the Hambantota district and in the eastern slopes of the central hills. Misty conditions can be expected in the central, Sabragama, Uva provinces and in the Gaul and Matara districts during the morning. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. A 1 million rupee low-interest loan for dairy farmers. The purchase of paddy for other purposes will be limited. The CWC expresses its gratitude to the Premier regarding the increase of the estate workers' salaries. Steps will be taken to establish tourism training schools at district level. The Venerable Bengamwe Nalakatera says that it is necessary to have a correct foreign policy as a country. The number of PCR tests conducted daily will be increased to 20,000. And 18 dead after India glacier burst dam. That concludes tonight's news broadcast.